That's Mary Jo. How many times have we heard that simple phrase spoken in? This has been a difficult speech to write, not because it was difficult to think of plenty of stories. There are literally hundreds of anecdotes which capture the essence of Mary Jo. But which are best to squeeze into just a few short minutes? Ask anyone who has spent any amount of time with her. Everyone has their own favorite Mary Jo story. Who is she to you? Coworker, mentor, auntie, sister, friend? And what is the story that most connects you to her? My own personal Mary Jo story started several months before I had even met her after the death of my husband. My own children were Princeton friends, and one of their teachers was Mary Jo's husband. He approached me to tell me that he and his wife would do whatever they could to help make our burden easier. Little did I know what a mountain of strength she would provide for me in the years ahead. Just a few months later, I started a job here. Mary Jo became my mentor, helping me ease into the special community that we all know as Chapin. She taught my daughter, took me to doctor's appointments so I wouldn't have to handle tough information by myself, and became a valued and trusted friend. That's Mary Jo. Now for some comic relief. Mary Jo does have more than a slightly mischievous side. My favorite Mary Jo story happened years before we met, and there are probably some co-conspirators in the audience here right now. It was winter. Everyone wanted a snow day. Unfortunately, the snow wasn't coming. Mary Jo and some of her co-conspirators decided to go to the headmaster's home with a ladder and some cans of spray snow. They then sprayed his windows with fake snow. When the head of school got up early that morning to check on the weather, he was greeted with a winter wonderland of snow from the inside looking out, and school was canceled. That's Mary Jo. No other school was called the day, but it did end up as a monstrous ice storm, so things actually worked out really well for Chapin. In past years, Chapin was a much smaller, intimate community, where the line between home and school seemed much closer and overlapped. She has held both children and their parents as they have laughed and cried. She has been there for them long after they've left Chapin. She's been a babysitter to some, opened her home to others, and been a big support to those going through tough times. That's Mary Jo. Her popular auction sleepover is an example of the way she connects with families beyond the school day. These sleepovers have created bidding wars as parents fight for the opportunity to go home and tell their child that they were the lucky winner. This is hard to imagine in today's world, where there is a clear division between school and home. New co-workers have been heard to say, "What? She has kids over to her home for a slumber party? Who does that?" You know who does that? Mary Jo. This generousness of spirit is part of who she is and who she has always been. I've had occasion to talk to one of her high school friends. They desperately wanted to be part of a group and felt like an outsider. Mary Jo made them part of her group, and they have never forgotten her unfailing kindness. According to this person, Mary Jo has always been inclusive and a champion of the underdog. That's Mary Jo. Here at Chapin, Mary Jo has always been a champion of children. Her unlimited dedication to teaching and the children she has had a part in raising is an integral part of who she is. When asked if she truly liked every student she ever had, without hesitation she said, "Yes, how could not?" In the 14 years I have worked with her, she has always put her children first. She loves all her kids. There are kids who have gone on to adulthood and brought their own children back to Chapin. She has attended graduations and weddings. Yes, she has loved them. She will always love them. Well, Mrs. T, Mary Jo, we will always love you too.